Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor. I wanted to start this video with this. This guy is on fire here recently with me. He's been sending me all kinds of good information, and one day I'm sure he's going to tell me that I keep butchering his name, but he hasn't told me yet, so I'm going with it. Michel Vandenberg at MVDB01 is the guy that sent me this. He's out of the Netherlands. Now this first thing that he sent me two things, I believe. This first thing you need to all go and watch. You can find this at PYMNTS, Payments. This is a video that's presented that tells you U.S. representatives and senators have introduced the Payment Modernization Act to reinforce the Fed's authority to create a real-time payments system. That is big time, folks, because you know who has been meeting with the Fed to what do they call it? The Faster Payments Task Force. That has been what Ripple has been on that task force for, I think over the last few years. And this is what it's all about right here, folks. This would be a monster. So go and watch that video, but they're actually trying to pass an act to get this thing going is the way I understood that. And he also sent me this from Savvy XRP _. Ripple sold $251.51 million worth of XRP in Q2 2019 and is substantially reducing future sales of XRP. They make a point here that I haven't seen made yet. No company willingly gives up that kind of revenue without another revenue stream lined up. Think about it. Or maybe they just knew that the price would begin to rise once they do this. Either way, I'm more bullish on XRP today than I ever have been after seeing that Q2 report yesterday. Okay, next from XRP Trooper at Trooper XRP. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but there was a couple of quotes in here that I didn't think that I covered. This is from TD Ameritrade. Says their outgoing CEO has issued new statements indicating that clients are asking for investment opportunities in cryptocurrencies and that his firm may be looking for ways to serve that need. Says, and this is funny too, because who have we heard this phrase from? Tim Hockey, who tendered his resignation this week. He's taking a crawl, walk, run approach toward offering digital assets on the brokerage platform. I think that's what it seems like. Brad Garlinghouse said something about crawl, walk, run at some point. Wonder if he's talked to Brad Garlinghouse, because just about everybody else has. And then it's down here it says clients are asking for it, Hockey said, adding our investment in ErisX at some point may allow us, referring to crypto denominated trading platform the firm placed in an early stake in. So anyway, bottom line is, and remember back in 2018, I can't remember the company. I want to say it was BlackRock, and I remember covering a story where I believe Larry Fink is their CEO. I believe he said in an interview back in 2018 that he hasn't had one customer that's expressed any interest whatsoever in crypto or Bitcoin or any of this stuff. And I remember covering that and going, that's just got to be a bold-faced lie. Well, according to TD Ameritrade, their clients are asking for it, and I believe that the clients of every firm on Wall Street have been asking for it, and I believe Wall Street spent 2018 gearing up to provide it for their customers behind the scenes. Even if it was just through Bakkt, they were setting themselves up to do it, and you'll find out shortly that I'm right. XRP Crypto Wolf, at XRP Crypto Wolf, the XRP community and Ripple have Brad Garlinghouse personally speaking to the U.S. Treasury Secretary Mnuchin, the White House, the IMF, the Federal Reserve, central banks, and many organizations around the world. while the Bitcoin community has Eric Finman speaking to Congress for Bitcoin. And this is some young kid. Today I briefed congressional representatives and staffers on Bitcoin cryptocurrency and what it means for America. There is amazing energy in Washington, and people are ready to talk about crypto and find solutions for all Americans. Well, this kind of goes in line with what I talked about in my last video. Ripple represents the adults in the room, the adults that knew that you go to the regulators first because you don't want to take a pee in their backyard with your digital asset, and then once they finally have to address it, then you say, oh, by the way, we want to talk to you. Well, that's the difference between how this has been approached by Ripple versus the representatives, I guess you'd say, of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin has no leadership, and therein lies another problem. I compare the Bitcoin thing to launching a ship. If you just put a boat that has a steering wheel out on the ocean, and it has no captain at the helm, it has no one to steer that ship. The ship is going to eventually end up on some random beach and just be shoved up onto the beach, and the ocean is going to do with that ship what it wants to. Take another ship and put an experienced, educated captain at the helm of that ship, and send that ship off and give that ship an actual destination and a goal. And 99 times out of 100, that ship is going to reach that destination. That's the way I see Ripple. We have a captain at the helm. We have several shipmates that are helping the captain, and they all have Harvard and law degrees and Stanford degrees, and they're all connected, and many of them are billionaires and millionaires. These are not a bunch of dummies, and they've actually got a goal. And the goal is to, let's spell it out, folks. The goal, and Brad Garlinghouse has said it in no uncertain terms, the goal is to run multi-trillions of dollars through XRP. Now, he can't say it in a way that's not politically correct like the way I'm saying it right now. But they have a goal, and the goal is very simple, and that is to talk to the regulators, the politicians, the central banks, and the banks, and make them understand how XRP is the greatest digital asset ever created, and spend the last 7 years on the goal of ultimately running multi-trillions of dollars through the digital asset XRP. That is what you're a part of if you're an XRP holder. Make no mistake. Okay, next. XRP Vegas at Funky Bad Chad. I like that. I love his logo, and I love the folks. I've said it before on here. There's something about Vegas. I'm not one of these people that like gambles too much or anything, but I just love the lights. I love how they've always got all this stuff going on. I love just walking through the casinos and looking at how crazy all the architecture is and the things that they do there. And so anytime I see his handle, I kind of love his logo. All right, and next, this is from Colonel XRP at Colonel XRP. What was the reason behind? I like what he says here. What was the reason behind Ripple OTC sales of XRP instead of just asking everyone to buy from public exchanges? OTC, that's over the counter, ensured the biggest banks, institutions received their limited but fair share. They can be bound by contract not to dump. OTC sales ensure price stability. If everyone was to buy XRP from exchanges, XRP price would be jumping all over the place. Imagine one purchase order of 50 million XRP. We would see mad volatility. Now that they are done setting up the biggest players they can afford to allow major price increases, they are now ready to switch on and go live with multiple entities, which will support higher XRP values. So you won't have crazy volatility. SBI and MoneyGram are ready to take this to the next level. There will be massive FOMO within the next few months. Regulations will unlock it. Folks, I don't know if he's 1,000% accurate or 90% accurate or 70% accurate, but I think he's on to something here. And I know Ripple has a plan. And my gut tells me that we are literally watching the master plan be unfolded right before our eyes over the course of the last few days and weeks. Okay, from Michael at VAL5 Links, I had to cover this because this is very important too. Crypto Baron John McAfee has broken his radio silence on Twitter, claiming that he was released from detention in the Dominican Republic. He says that the local authorities treated him well during his 4-day confinement. And we've got pictures too. Leaving the detention, and this is John McAfee. He's ready to go and hit the high seas again. And so luckily for my channel, I get to keep covering John McAfee, who I love to follow. And next from Chinu Patel at Chinu Patel 29 sent this. This is big time from Stephen Bull from the Dieppe at Dieppe's SANH. Give him a follow. He does all these short videos. He's great at what he does. Go watch this video. This is great. It's 2 minutes and 7 seconds. The Corda Settler is an open source platform for Corda users to connect with other blockchains such as XRP Ledger and traditional payment systems like Swift GPI. Richard Brown R3. That's big time, folks. June 2019. Go watch it. That's a good one. All right. And from Michael at VAL5 Links, Norwegian business magnate Born Jos, I don't know how you would say that, and his family have reportedly set up a cryptocurrency exchange and plan to introduce Bitcoin payments at their airline, Norwegian Air Shuttle. That's interesting, folks. Interesting stuff. More adoption. Okay, and finally, I wanted to give Cyflux a shout out. Now, for those of you that don't know, if you go to the main page on my channel, Cyflux, a few months back, did a great video for me where it featured my voice and all. Now, Cyflux is at it again, has done another great video. And so I want you to do two things. You go follow Cyflux on Twitter at CYPHLUX. Definite follow on Twitter. And also go watch the new video. Now, I want to tell you this. I'm going to capture that for my thumbnail for this video. But I am extremely uncomfortable, even though I do videos all the time and you all listen to me all the time, I'm extremely uncomfortable listening to myself talk in videos. You know the old saying, you are your worst critic? Well, I cannot stand listening to myself on video, and so I don't ever listen to my channels. In fact, another piece of trivia you may not know, my wife does not listen to my videos. My wife has never listened to a full video of mine. Many of you may be surprised by that, but she doesn't, and I understand why she doesn't. It's kind of one of those things where when she listens to it, it's like many of you have experienced this. It's like when you watch a friend or a family member on stage, and it's almost painful because you're worried that they're going to mess up and embarrass themselves in front of everyone and all that. And so I think that's kind of why my wife can't listen to my channel. And I understand it. But Cyflux has done a great job, and you need to go subscribe to their channel too. It's Cyflux XRP. And also, if you have not already, Cyflux has a Patreon page. You can get, the link is in the description of the video. So you can go and you can subscribe or join their Patreon group as well. And and if any of you have any video work, Cyflux is obviously very, why am I drawing a blank? Very good at making videos. Sorry, I'm tired. I've just done 2 videos back to back here, but the video is great. I did listen to it all the way through, but I probably am not going to listen to it again because it literally, I don't know if many of you will really understand this. It is literally painful for me to listen to myself. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family to go watch XRP, The World Collapses Around Us. Thank you for listening.